Are you over 50 and wondering how to enjoy retirement without going broke? The right retirement budget plan could be the difference between stress and freedom. Let's talk smart budgeting after 50 and how it can help you live fully and securely. Reaching your 50s is a milestone, not just in age, but in perspective. You've worked hard, raised families, made sacrifices, and now you're finally looking towards something that once felt far away: retirement. But for many, that horizon brings both excitement and anxiety. You might be asking yourself, do I have enough saved? Can I still travel, enjoy life, and help my family without draining my accounts? What happens if I outlive my money? These are not just financial questions, they're emotional ones. Because money after 50 isn't just about numbers, it's about freedom, peace of mind, and still saying yes to the things that make life worth living. In this video, we'll share with you a clear, realistic retirement budget plan for 50 plus. One that won't strip away your joy, but will help you protect your future. You'll learn how to apply the 60-20-20 budgeting rule in a way that's practical, flexible, and deeply human. Let's get started. 1. Why retirement feels more financially stressful than ever. Reaching retirement age used to mean slowing down, resting, and finally enjoying the fruits of decades of hard work. But for many people today, especially those in their 50s and early 60s, retirement doesn't feel like a peaceful reward. It feels like uncertainty. Why? Because the financial landscape has shifted dramatically. We are living longer than ever before. While this is a beautiful thing, it also means your retirement might last 25 or even 30 years. That's 3 full decades of needing income, medical care, housing, and stability. At the same time, traditional retirement income sources have changed. Pensions are rare. Social Security may not be enough to cover all your needs, and your 401k or savings may feel like it's shrinking faster than you expected, especially in times of inflation or market volatility. Healthcare costs are another rising burden. A single unexpected health issue could wipe out years of savings. And let's not forget family responsibilities. Many people over 50 are still supporting adult children or aging parents, stretching their budgets even thinner. Add all this together, and it's no wonder why people are searching for a retirement budget plan for 50 plus that offers real control. The truth is, retirement planning today isn't just about having enough. It's about managing wisely, adjusting intentionally, and making your money serve you, not the other way around. That's where the 60-20-20 rule comes in. It's not just a formula, it's a mindset shift that puts you back in the driver's seat of your financial future. 2. The emotional cost of not having a plan. When we talk about money, we often think in terms of numbers: income, expenses, savings, and debt. But the real weight of financial uncertainty after 50 isn't found in spreadsheets or bank accounts. It's felt in the quiet moments when you lie awake at night wondering, will I be okay? The truth is, not having a retirement budget plan doesn't just put your finances at risk, it takes an emotional toll. It shows up as stress, the kind that settles deep in your chest when you're paying bills or opening medical statements. It shows up as guilt, when you turn down a family trip because you're not sure if you can afford it, or when you help a loved one financially but silently wonder if you've just jeopardized your own future. It shows up as fear. Fear of becoming a burden to your children. Fear of needing care you can't pay for. Fear of losing the independence you've worked a lifetime to earn. And the worst part? Many people silently carry these feelings without ever talking about them. But here's the thing. You don't need to know everything about investing or economics to regain control. What you do need is clarity, a structure that takes away the guesswork and gives you confidence to move forward. That's the gift of smart budgeting after 50. It's not about restriction. It's about relief. It's about knowing where your money goes, why it's going there, and how you can make decisions without fear or regret. With a clear plan, your mind becomes lighter. You can focus on enjoying life instead of bracing for what might go wrong. Because peace of mind is worth more than any number in your bank account. 3. What is the 60-20-20 budget rule and why it works? When it comes to managing money after 50, simplicity is your greatest ally. That's why the 60-20-20 budget rule has become such a powerful tool. It's easy to understand, flexible to apply, and designed for real life. Here's how it works. 60% of your monthly income goes to essentials, the things you absolutely must pay to live well and safely. This includes housing, groceries, utilities, medications, insurance, and transportation. 20% goes into savings and investments. This is your future safety net. Emergency funds, long-term savings, low-risk investments, or contributions to retirement accounts. 20% is for enjoying life. Yes, this part is just as important. This is your permission to live, to spend on hobbies, travel, family outings, occasional treats, without guilt. Let's bring this to life with an example. Imagine your post-retirement monthly income is $3,000 from Social Security, pension, and savings withdrawals. $1,800 goes to essentials, your mortgage or rent, utilities, medications, insurance. $600 is set aside for saving and investing, maybe part of it into a CD or a short-term bond, or simply building up your emergency fund. $600 is your joy budget. You might use it to take a weekend trip with your spouse, treat your grandchildren, or pursue a hobby you love. What makes the retirement budget plan for 50 plus so effective is that it doesn't demand perfection, just intention. It helps you balance discipline and delight. It ensures your bills are paid, your future is protected, and your present remains meaningful. Unlike complicated financial systems that require constant tracking and adjustment, the 60-20-20 rule gives you a clear framework. You don't have to be perfect, just consistent. And when you follow this approach, something powerful happens. You stop reacting to your finances and start leading them. You become the architect of a retirement life built on clarity, peace, and possibility. 4. How to apply the 60%, covering essentials without overspending. Let's begin with the foundation, the 60% essentials category. These are the non-negotiables, the parts of life that keep you safe, healthy, and comfortable. But just because they're essential doesn't mean they have to be expensive. With the right mindset, you can meet your needs without draining your resources. Here's how to make the most of your 60%. Housing. Your mortgage or rent is likely your largest single expense. If your home is paid off, great. If not, consider whether downsizing or refinancing could free up cash. Many retirees find that moving to a smaller place or relocating to a more affordable area not only saves money, but reduces stress. Groceries. Food is essential, but overspending here is surprisingly easy. Shop with a list. Take advantage of senior discounts and loyalty programs. Buy in bulk when it makes sense, and plan meals ahead to reduce waste. Cooking at home can be healthier and much more affordable than eating out. Healthcare and medications. Health-related costs can skyrocket after 50. Be proactive. Review your Medicare options annually. Consider supplemental insurance and keep track of out-of-pocket limits. Many pharmacies offer generic versions of prescriptions or discount plans that can significantly cut your costs. Utilities and subscriptions, electricity, internet, phone bills, these are part of modern life. But you'd be surprised how often we keep paying for things we no longer use. Do an audit of your monthly subscriptions and services. Are there streaming platforms you don't watch anymore? Is your phone plan more than you need?
Transportation, car payments, gas, insurance, maintenance, they add up. After 50, you may drive less than before. If you own more than one car, ask yourself if you really need it. Many retirees save thousands by selling a second vehicle or switching to public transportation where possible. The key to managing your 60% is not sacrifice, it's smart prioritization. Every dollar you save here is a dollar that can support your future or fund something you love. Remember, you're not just buying time, you're buying peace of mind. 5. The 20% that builds peace of mind, saving and investing wisely. If the first 60% of your budget is about surviving and staying stable, then this next 20% is about building peace of mind. It's the difference between waking up anxious about tomorrow and sleeping well because you know you're prepared. In your 50s and beyond, saving and investing are no longer just about growth. They're about security, flexibility, and dignity.
Start with an emergency fund. Life after 50 can bring unexpected expenses, a medical bill, a home repair, or support for a loved one. That's why your first goal should be to build or maintain an emergency fund that covers at least 3 to 6 months of essential living expenses. This money should be liquid, meaning it's easy to access. Keep it in a high-yield savings account or a money market account. It's not about making it grow, it's about making it available when you need it most. Investing, but safely. Yes, Investing after 50 is still important, but it should be purpose-driven, not just profit-driven. Look into conservative, low-risk options like certificates of deposit, CDs, government bonds, fixed annuities, balanced mutual funds. If you're not confident navigating these options, a financial advisor who specializes in retirement planning can help you structure a portfolio that aligns with your needs and risk tolerance.
Consider automatic contributions. One of the best ways to build long-term savings is to treat them like a bill, something you pay every month, no matter what. Set up automatic transfers from your checking account to your savings or investment account. Start small if needed. The key is consistency over perfection. Goal-based buckets. Break your savings into categories: travel fund, health reserve, gifts for grandchildren, home maintenance. This helps you stay motivated because now your savings aren't abstract. They're tied to the life you want to live. Remember, this 20% is not just about numbers. It's your shield against fear, your cushion against uncertainty, and your ticket to freedom. The smartest thing you can do with your money after 50, make it work for you, not the other way around.
6. The last 20%. How to enjoy life without guilt. Let's talk about joy. In a world that constantly tells us to cut back, to save more, to prepare for the worst, it's easy to forget that life is meant to be enjoyed, especially after 50. That's what this final 20% is for. It's not careless spending. It's intentional enjoyment, the kind that keeps your heart full, your relationships strong, and your spirit alive. What does enjoyment look like after 50? It's different for everyone. For some, it's travel, finally seeing the places you dreamed about while raising kids and building a career. For others, it's taking a painting class, joining a dance group, or picking up the guitar again. It could be date nights, brunches with old friends, spoiling your grandkids, or just having a really good cup of coffee every morning without checking your bank balance. Whatever joy looks like to you, this is your permission to embrace it. Why the 20% joy budget matters. Most people feel guilty spending money on themselves after 50. Maybe you were taught that pleasure is selfish, or maybe you're just afraid of what if something happens. But here's the truth. A budget without joy is a budget you won't stick to. This 20% is not wasted. It's what gives your life richness and rhythm. It reminds you that you're not just surviving, you're living. And the best part? When you plan for joy, it no longer feels indulgent. It feels earned, safe, and sustainable. Tips to maximize this 20%. Use cash or prepaid cards to avoid overspending. Plan low-cost outings with high emotional value. Take advantage of senior discounts on travel, entertainment, and fitness. Schedule your joy. Don't just hope it'll happen. So go ahead. Say yes to that trip. Buy that new pair of shoes. Take your granddaughter to the zoo. Not because you're reckless, but because you've budgeted for it. You're not just being smart with money, you're being kind to your soul. 7. Real-life examples. Couples who found balance. Sometimes the best way to understand the value of a plan is to see it in action. So let's meet two couples, same age, same stage of life, but very different experiences with retirement. Story 1. Mark and Linda, the intentional planners. Mark and Linda, both 62, retired last year. Before retiring, they spent a year building a budget around the 60-20-20 plan. They downsized their home, paid off their remaining debts, and set realistic expectations for their new lifestyle. They now live in a modest but lovely two-bedroom home. Their 60% covers all essentials: mortgage-free housing, Medicare, groceries, and a car that's fully paid off. Their 20% savings go into a travel fund, a health emergency account, and contributions to a low-risk mutual fund. But it's the final 20% that truly transformed their retirement. They use it for biannual road trips, a local gardening club Linda adores, and monthly dinners with their grandchildren. "We don't feel like we're cutting back," Mark says. "We feel like we're finally living on our terms."
Story 2. Ray and Denise, living without a plan. Ray and Denise, also in their early 60s, never created a formal retirement plan. They assumed their savings would figure itself out. At first, retirement felt like freedom. They traveled, dined out frequently, and helped their adult children generously. But within 2 years, their savings had dwindled. Now they're back to part-time work to cover rising costs, feeling overwhelmed and anxious. "We never knew where our money was really going," Denise admits. "We wish someone had told us to structure it earlier." These two stories aren't meant to judge, they're meant to inspire. Because no matter where you are on your journey, it's never too late to make a change. Whether you're like Mark and Linda, or more like Ray and Denise, you can take control. A retirement budget plan for 50 plus isn't just for financial types. It's for anyone who wants to live with intention, freedom, and peace. 8. Tools and apps to make budgeting simple. After 50. Let's face it, the idea of tracking every dollar can feel overwhelming, especially if you've never been a budget person. But here's the good news. In today's world, you don't have to do it all alone. With the right tools, smart budgeting after 50 becomes not only manageable, but empowering. 1. Mint. Mint is a free app that connects to your bank accounts and credit cards to automatically track spending, categorize expenses, and even alert you to unusual charges. You get a clear snapshot of where your money is going without doing the math yourself. Perfect for anyone who wants a bird's-eye view of their finances with minimal effort. 2. You need a budget. YNAB. YNAB isn't just an app, it's a mindset. It teaches you to give every dollar a job, plan ahead, and live within your means. While there's a learning curve and a small monthly fee, many users say it's life-changing. Perfect for people who want to rebuild their relationship with money and stay one step ahead. 3. Every dollar. Built on the zero-based budgeting model, every dollar helps you plan every expense in advance. It's intuitive and clean, great for those who like a simple interface with a strong sense of structure. Perfect for
anyone who wants to plan with clarity, especially on a fixed income. 4. Pen and paper. Yes, really. Some of the most successful retirees keep a notebook by the kitchen table. They write down what they spend each day, total it up each week, and adjust monthly. It may sound old-fashioned, but it works, especially for those who prefer to see it and feel it with their own hands. Tips for success. Choose one system and stick with it. Schedule 30 minutes every week for your money check-in. Involve your spouse or partner. Budgeting is better when shared. The best tool isn't the flashiest one, it's the one you'll actually use. So whether it's an app on your phone or a notebook on your kitchen table, take the first step. Your future self will thank you. 9. 5 common budgeting mistakes. People over 50. Make even with the best intentions, budgeting after 50 can go off track. Not because we lack discipline, but because we fall into common traps that seem harmless at first. Recognizing these pitfalls is the first step to avoiding them. 1. Ignoring small, daily expenses. That morning coffee run, that subscription you forgot to cancel, that lunch out just this once. Individually, they seem minor, but over time, they silently eat away at your 60%. Tip: review the last 3 months of your bank statements and highlight repeat charges. You'll be surprised what adds up. 2. Not having a joy budget. Many people feel they should cut fun first. The problem? This leads to burnout and resentment. Without the final 20% for joy, your budget becomes a prison, not a plan. Tip: always include something that brings you joy, no matter how small. A walk with a friend, a weekend getaway, a cooking class. 3. Underestimating healthcare costs. Medical expenses can derail even the best-laid plans. Co-pays, prescriptions, dental work. They're often unpredictable but recurring. Tip: build a health reserve into your 20% savings. Review and adjust your Medicare or insurance coverage annually. 4. Failing to communicate with your partner. Money is one of the top sources of tension in retirement. If you're not aligned, even a good plan can fall apart. Tip: set aside time monthly for a budget talk. Make it casual, honest, and judgment-free. 5. Thinking it's too late to start. This is perhaps the most damaging mistake. Many over 50 think, it's too late, I'll just get by. That mindset breeds inaction and regret. Truth: it's never too late. One small change, cutting a cost, saving $100 or tracking your spending, can have a powerful compounding effect over time. Mistakes don't define you. Your response to them does. And the good news, if you're watching this, it means you care. And that's the first step toward lasting change. Final words. Retirement is not the end, it's your time to thrive. Retirement isn't the finish line, it's the beginning of a life that's finally yours. After decades of showing up for others, your children, your job, your responsibilities, now is the time to show up for you. That doesn't mean you stop being careful, It doesn't mean you ignore the realities of money. But it does mean this: you no longer need to live in fear of outliving your savings or feeling like joy is out of reach. Because with the right retirement budget plan for 50 plus, you can have both security and freedom. The 60-20-20 rule isn't magic, but it is powerful. It gives you structure without suffocation. It honors your needs while protecting your future. And perhaps most importantly, it keeps space open for joy, for beauty, for living. So, take a breath. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. Maybe your first step is tracking your expenses. Maybe it's setting aside $50 for a future memory. Or maybe it's simply believing that yes, you still have time to build a retirement you love. You've already come this far. That alone proves your strength. Now imagine what's possible when you pair that strength with a plan. If this video gave you clarity or hope, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone else who's walking the same path. Don't forget to subscribe to Advice for Life 50 Plus, because your best years are not behind you, they're just beginning.